So let's look at the left-hand side of the brain. The left-hand side of the brain looks at logic. It looks at maths. Right? All of the basic factors like language, etc. All these things are all covered in the left-hand side of the brain. In the right-hand side of the brain is the creative side of the brain. This is where we understand music and colour and pictures and all these sorts of things. So the right-hand side of the brain looks after that aspect. Okay? And you hear people say, I'm right-brained or left-brained. The reality is we all have a blend of both, but we'll have a preference for one of those. Our preference particularly becomes aware when we get into difficult situations, when we're put under pressure, when someone really becomes aggressive with you. You will revert to your natural cause, your natural place. Now I want to take it a step further today, and I want to talk about a guy called Ned Herman. Ned Herman is one of the many psychologists who've come up with different ways of looking at the brain and how it works. And he looks at the way that people think. How do we actually think about the brain? And to do that I want to draw very quickly again our left and right side of the brain. Now with our left and right side of the brain I'm going to take it one step further. Because this is what Ned Herman did. Ned said let's divide it into 4 different categories. So we're going to still take the left hand side carried down, the right hand side carried down. But in his case he said let's make it something simple and we're going to put it into different colours. So once we do the colours we're going to look and say what do they like? What do these people do? Well, up in this corner, and we're writing in blue, but anyway, up in here we have the blue people. Now the blue people like facts. They like to hear about logic. Right? These are the things that they like. They like numbers, data, you know, flat information. If we move down here to what Ned Herman called the green people like to follow systems. They like process. They like things to be on time. They don't like you running late. They want you to start on time, finish on time. They want the forms filled in correctly. They want the boxes ticked. In fact, if I go to a green person's home, it's usually fairly easy to spot. Because if you go to their pantry, you'll find their pantry will be labelled. They'll have all the different things labelled down. If you go to their wardrobe, it'll be neat and tidy. All the clothes will be hanging together on hangers going the same way. If we go to their desk at the office, we're going to find it neat. The pens are all located in nice little boxes. You know, the slide-ons, etc., and other little bits and pieces. Their desk is kept beautifully neat. These are typically what you might call a strong green person. So neat, tidy, focus on systems, process. Then over in this corner we have the red people. Now the red people are a critical part to your organisation because guess what? They know what's going on. They're all about people. They're all about feelings. They are all about making sure we're not upsetting anybody. Right? These are the things that they want to focus on. So the red people are the caring, concerning, thoughtful, considerate people. And if you've got an organisation without red people, no one really knows what the facts are about what's going around the place. These are the people who will know everyone and know what's going on. Now, up in this corner, we have the yellow people. Now, the yellow people, the easiest example I could find would be Branson. If we want to look at a worldwide big yellow, it's Branson. Now, these people are rule breakers. Rule breakers, right? They don't, you know, rules are there to be broken. They've got big imaginations. These are the people who are the entrepreneurs. So Richard Branson's the perfect example. These are the ones who like surprises, don't want to plan things too much. These are the ones who, if we're going for a picnic on Saturday, in fact, will plan it as they go. They'll get in the car and just say, let's go somewhere. Whereas a green person here will sit down and plan it out. What are we going to take? What are we going to do? Da, da, da. They'll have the detail done. So do you start to see what happens in a workplace when you've got these people all working together? And can you imagine that you've got someone here who's administering a process, perhaps with salespeople who might be over here, or maybe a salespeople who's got a predominance over here, and we find this person here's going, but they haven't filled in their form properly. They haven't ticked the boxes. They haven't got it in on time. The person over here who's the big thinker, the imagination, the rule breaker, goes, who gives a rip about the forms? For God's sake, it's something important to think about in life. That's not worth even considering. So we start to see potential for clash. What about between these people? The blue person says, just give me the facts, give me the logic, give me the data, that's all I need. I don't need to know about their feelings. Who cares about their bloody feelings? So we see a potential for conflict across here as well. Now the reality is that none of you will be just one sector. None of us are. And so what you'll find is that when they measure this properly, they actually put an axis through here, an axis through here, And what you'll do, I'll just grab a pen here, and what you'll find is that you'll get measured out here. So you might have this much blue and that much yellow and this much red and this much green, which means if we plotted it, this is where you would sit. Now the actual perfect place to sit would be a nice square right in the middle, an equal part of everything. Do many people have that? No. In years of doing this, there's only one person I've seen have that. Most don't. But it's something to think about. You know, when you're starting to deal with people, you've got to start to understand them. You've got to understand why they think differently to you. Where are they coming from? What aspect are they considering? And so you've got to understand, if someone is a predominant blue, then maybe you should change your discussion factors to blue. If I'm a red person predominantly looking to talk to a blue person predominantly, then I will change, in fact, the way I present my ideas. Instead of talking about feelings, I'll talk about research, I'll talk about data, I'll talk about the facts. And if I was a blue person going to talk here, I'd talk about feelings. You need to be adaptable. You need to be the ultimate chameleon. Thank you.